Took another loss against Everton. Team in relegation and poor form, but against us it's irrelevant, cause our season went south like Kennerton. Yeah, that's the direction that we're heading in. Hearing all this talk about Ten Hag, man can't even decide who we're bringing in. Took another loss against Everton. Team in relegation and poor form, but against us it's irrelevant, cause our season went south like Kennerton. Yeah, that's the direction that we're heading in. Hearing all this talk about Ten Hag, man can't even decide who we're bringing in.
Yo, this is the OT99 Banter, where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another show. It's your boy Firms, and I'm joined today by the usual corporate NK. And today we are going to talk about the disaster of the game. Manchester United lost against Everton. Manchester United went up against them, and we do what we typically do in typical fashion, which is go and drop points. Look, Arsenal dropped points again today, and Man United, it's been twice now that they've dropped points and we ain't capitalised. Look, we've seen Tottenham push on, we've seen Chelsea push on, Manchester United still in this rut. And it's just, I'm not surprised. I can't say I'm surprised, but I can't say that again. Like, I want to feel detached from it emotionally, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult to do that. It was a terrible game, NK, man. I don't even know where to start, NK. It's one of those ones where I looked at these guys have all checked out, bro. Fam, each one of these guys have checked out, and I'm so worried, bro, because it's just like, I mean, we'll get onto this whole Ten Hag thing in a further detail, but the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, do you know what? This guy, you know, is going to need this to fix this team. I just reckon they all got to go. But fam, let me start off with what was your analysis? What did you make of like today's game? Obviously, we didn't have no bite. What do you put it down to, NK? What do you put it down to? I know we keep, it's almost like a broken record here, but today, what do you put it down to? Why do you think that we lost against a relegation battler who hasn't won a game in ages? What do you think it is? And a team that's trying to make Champions League like us. What's gone wrong?
Look, the thing is, I think the very common word that everybody keep on using is that, oh, the players have checked out, but here's the thing. If you haven't watched United before, or you don't know whether we are in a fight for top four, and then you ask someone to go watch them to just come up with like what they see there, one of the key words that they're going to use is that it's a team that like ideas. You know, we had 67 ball possession, but you cannot even recall even one single chance that we created from that. You know.
So what I remember in the first half, see, this is the only thing I remember quite clearly.
Right.
It might have been. So in the first half, I remember Rashford getting these kind of like half chances, right? He got a shot.
That was from the set pieces, and then he shot it,
And then Bruno, he done like a in-swing
long ball. That was the second half.
Got his head on. And then Pickford made a good save against that one as well. He done like an in-swinging cross. Pickford made a good save. So he had two chances, Rashford. Then outside of that, he kind of like dwindled. I was thinking it was a better half. It was a better half for him. I'm not going to say he had a good, decent game because everyone was trash. But I think like for someone that is just invisible, completely non-existent, I'm even able to comment on him and saying, oh, he missed that chance. He should have scored that chance. But it was still terrible from the team. The whole team just needs to be lifted, the bin, put in there, and start again, bro. I think everyone just needs to start again, bro.
Yeah, as is again, see, and then you just put my point. Like, I mean, for the last 2-3 years, one of the common way that we always say is that we cannot break low block teams down. Yeah. You know, today, Everton were not a great team. They were not great. They only got a deflection going, and then that was a bye, really. You know, that was a bye. They didn't really do nothing. And then you look at this team, and then everybody was everywhere. When we had the ball, you just don't know what exactly these boys have been asked to do. You just cannot see it. Like, I cannot say, oh yeah, you know what, this manager have asked them to play this way, and that's what they're doing. Coaching was terrible, bruv. Coaching has been terrible, bruv, man. Like, and friends, I know you watch football. I watch football too. You cannot tell me any team, even in the Premiership, yeah, that when their player is on the ball, he's instructing other players where to go. You just don't see it anywhere, because that's something that is being coached, you coach
naturally. It's naturally
on the training pitch, and when the
should
guy get the ball, everybody know. Look, you know your duty already. Look, if I'm playing one ring, maybe I have to do a decoy run, or someone do like an overlap, or everybody just know. Your guy on the ball should not be telling these guys, look, you go to this place so that it makes space, or you do that. You just don't do that.
You know what? Yeah, I saw Mata come on with Elanga. Yeah, Mata came on, and no disrespect to Elanga, because Elanga of recent has been one of our better players. So it's not really to him. It's more about the overall situation that I'm seeing with the club. And Mata was telling like Elanga, like make that run, like go forward, like. And then he slipped in the ball on the left. He slipped him in the ball pass on the left, yeah. And when I'm deep into that, Matt has got a football brain. I know he's slow. I know he's on the decline. He's past it, but he's got a football brain. He understands football. He's very technical like that. My thing about Manchester United is one of our biggest issues. Manchester United is, like you said, we ain't got a plan. We're on the ball. Or off the ball. Like when you look at Manchester United, the work rate to get into the box, only Ronaldo's in there. One guy. Every time someone like Bruno, Telles, even Aaron Wan-Bissaka, yeah, who doesn't really cross anyway, none of these guys are getting any encouragement, yeah, to whip in a ball when there's only seeing Ronaldo in that box and there's 5-6 men surrounding this guy. When I look at Ten Hag and his Ajax team, one of the things I told you, yeah, is that what I noticed is when he's going on an attack, he's got 4-5 men flooding that box. You look at Liverpool, you look at City, Man United, one guy's in the box.
That's what I say. Well, and this is what I'm just trying to tell you. Like, it comes down to coaching. Even today, first of all, we were crossing from poor areas, and when we crossed, if we missed Ronaldo, there was nobody else in the box. You cannot tell me that this place are choosing to do that. It comes down to coaching. You know, if there's instructions there, you know that, look, that's my instructions there, that when the guy get the ball off there, I'm making this one. It's just not there.
They don't move.
Yes, we can just look to the players. But as I said to you, movement here, like they start to say that, what do you call it? Everton players run 10K more than us. And that's okay if we had less of the ball. That's why it's okay. They should have worked hard. But when you have the ball, which we did, 77% of the chance, if my manager hasn't told me exactly where to run, I don't know where to run. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Players don't know where to run because it's more about, that's why anytime Ronaldo and Bruno, they just trying to kind of like play based on kind of like their own natural instincts or their own natural communication. It's not something that the manager have told you like, oh, you know what? When Bruno get the ball, someone make this one and this person make this one. It's just not like that. So that's why I say first thing is coaching. Look, as good as Raf did, he got a job as interior manager, and when he got a job, the first thing that happened was that all the other coaches, they left. Carrick left, McKenna left. None of those guys wanted to stay. They all just left. And then he had to make up his coaching thing. You know, he got one guy from MLS who was literally a flop. Like, guy was a big flop, man. So he had to put up a coaching team that he didn't even want.
Half-hearted one, innit?
And half-hearted, you can tell. That's why there have not been no improvement since Ole left. Still the same time, lack of ideas, man. Lack of ideas. But we're going to come here and just say, oh, yeah, this place have checked out, this place have done that. But they don't know what they've been doing, man. You can just tell on the pitch, but these guys don't know what they're doing. Everton, all Everton just did to us today was that we sat back, literally, let's see what you can do. You know, every single game, you see what we always do, put crosses after crosses after crosses, and team are just easily. The crosses, we haven't even worked on the crosses, whether we are doing low cross or high cross. The guy just do whatever cross that he feel like he can do.
And none of them are even, they're all like, our corners are not beating the first man. I see Mata whipping them across, not beating the first man.
That was my next point.
This is a
if
team.
we get work on the training ground, you know exactly how corners is going to do. We are passing the ball short. We're passing the ball short. We don't even know what to do with corners. But then people are here going to tell me that, oh, players have checked up.
Yeah.
When these guys are not being coached
you've
on
got
it.
3-4 guys here doing tick-a-tack on the left-hand side of the pitch here, doing tick-a-tack, trying to do this all, work the ball into the box here. Why don't a couple of you, man, get in the box where you need to be to put the ball in the net instead of just being scared doing this tick-a-tack because you're worried maybe about a counter-attack? Why don't you attack their goal aggressively, bro? It's so frustrating when I'm like, these man, it happens every game. You have 3-4 man doing tick-a-tack around the box, passing it around, trying to beat a press. One guy's in the box. It's not doing nothing, and you get 6 man. You see their line like this. 6 man doing that wall. You're just like, bro, You can't see a goal from nowhere. And this is why we're always seeing Manchester United wonder goals, Manchester United spectaculars, where it takes a special piece of play and it's not consistent enough because of the way we play. Our goals are not fluid. It's not consistent. You need a consistent, replicable style of play where it will produce goals. Man United don't have that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, because it's just like even today, even look at Ronaldo movement. 1 minute he's dropping deep, 1 minute he's up there, 1 minute he's that. I'm thinking to you, what is the coaching like? What is the instruction to these guys, bro? You know, and people are gonna make it like, oh yeah, they're not listening to the manager, they're not doing that. Honestly, me, I just feel like Raf just know how to coach when he have his type of players. But until he because he doesn't have it, I'm sorry, that's when we hit the break rock. You know, we just hit the break. Because
NK, you said it, yeah. You said it, NK offline. You said Manchester United is the poorest coach club
we are
in the whole of the league. And I am sitting there thinking, do you know what? I believe that. Do you know what? Yeah. Fabian Delph, I listened to his post-match interview. This guy in his post-match interview said, like, you know, he hasn't played in ages, right? It was a risk even playing this guy. This guy hadn't trained in a week. This guy walks off the pitch getting man of the match. And do you remember when we was playing, who was it again? Who did we play? Was it Sevilla, one of these teams in Champions League? I don't even know who we played yet.
I think Villarreal, Atlanta, one of them anyway.
Kondogbia was
oh, that's Atletico Madrid, yeah?
Atletico Madrid, and he got man of the match. And I remember, like, offline, you know, chatting, he was like, oh, Kondogbia bossed it, he was this, he was that, and that, and this. And I said that, I said it in that, I said, look, I don't even know if Kondogbia is good because everyone looks good against our team and our midfield. Everyone bosses it. Look, today is just another example. Guys haven't played for ages. A guy, Fabian Delph, his age, he's on the decline. He hasn't trained in God knows how long. He comes and gets man of the match. It was a walk in the park for this guy. There was no stress. It was easy. And for me, like, guys, when I look at all of these guys now, I can't use it as a good measure. Fam, we made that guy look like, we made everyone look like they're flipping Gerrard in their prime.
I'm just telling you that we are the best. I'm just telling you we are the poorest. Look, I watched the United game. I watched the Arsenal game. I watched the Ajax game. Yeah. And but I tell you what, I have not seen anyone that one player is on the ball and he's pointing to the other guys what space to move into so that he can get them the ball or create another space, bro, man. So
they're not even aware, like, I look at this team here, NK, and it's just like, they're not even aware, like, do you know how many times, like, we gave away, like, opposition throwing or something like that? Like, I remember Mata, like, trying to usher out, Matic trying to usher out the ball, guide it out for, like, the ball to go out for throwing. Soon to realize, you know, he was the last man to touch it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, same thing, ushering out the ball. He was the last man to touch it. And I'm just like, bro, like, what can these guys even get right? Like, what can you even get? The simplest of tasks. What can you get right? You're just confused about everything. Look, that first half, yeah, these men couldn't string 3 passes together without losing the ball. It was just a mess, bro. I'm just like, bro.
Right, and it comes down to like build up play. When you have been drilling players here, like every single day on the training pitch, in terms of like their build up play, bro. I'll tell you what, when they get the ball and they are building up, they know exactly how to do it. You know, when they get the ball, this guy will move to this position. This guy will either come close, someone will run there, and just literally like drag some of the Everton players around. Nothing like that happened. Everything is just so easy for every team. Everton, literally, one of the Everton weaknesses here is that they concede goals for fun. Today we play them. We could have played this game to now, and United would not have scored, bro. Yeah. Because that's how easy it was, bro. They will if Everton play United every single week, but they will be Premiership champions. Yeah, and that's a fact, bro. They will be Premier League champions. A lot of teams will be, bro, man. I watched this man thinking, how did we get 51 points, bro? How did we get 51 points? I don't know how we got 51 points. I literally don't know, bro, man.
We got guys like Coleman, yeah. What, 30 something yet? What, you know what I mean? Like he's a veteran.
Couldn't even do nothing against him today.
He had no stress.
Sancho couldn't do nothing against him today.
Sancho was missing.
Nothing again. Once again, we can say it's missing, but it's just about. And this is what I'm just gonna tell you. Like even next season, yeah, you get decent manager to come in, bro. You don't even like first season. You don't even worry about getting attacking players. All you need to do is sort your midfield out and sort probably, let's say, your centre back out. Just sort your defense and midfield out. If you sort that, I tell you what, the attacking movement alone, we will get certain goals. We will improve massively. And then when you see that, okay, maybe we are creating a lot of chances and the guys that are in attack are not taking their chances like that, then I can go and buy a striker. I'm telling you that. But when we got a team full of attacking players and these guys don't even get the ball in areas where it gives them a chance to head to position buff. How many did Ronaldo even receive the ball in a dangerous area, buff, man? He just didn't, buff. There was only one chance that he did inside the penalty box, buff. That you can see he touched the ball inside the penalty box, buff. You know, so you
Rashford that got a couple of chances. Yeah, you're right. I feel like, but the thing is, at the same time, you're just looking like, bro, like, okay, we're doing better not to concede as many goals, but we still conceded the one goal. So Ralph Rangnick has fixed at least the leaky defense. We're still conceding, but it's not as much as it was before.
But attackingly, he hasn't done nothing to the team.
Bro, attacking wise, what? Look, we can't put a goal past Everton. Like, come on, bro. And this is a team that's crying about Champions League. Look, I've accepted, and I'm even taking it with pride, that Manchester United is not going to make Champions League and probably not even make Europa League. And I'm going to take that with pride.
I think Wolves are playing fucking, sorry for my language. Wolves are just playing hard balls, but they lost yesterday. Yeah. Did Wolves win or lose? I don't even know the table no more.
Did they? Well, I think they might have lost 1-0 against Newcastle. Was it Newcastle they played?
Oh yeah, Newcastle. Yeah, they lost. See, and that's the thing. Like, instead of them to come up and keep on winning to put pressure on us, they just know. So now it's like we're sitting comfortably, like in seventh place. You know, we're just sitting comfortably in seventh place. And look, I'm just praying, man. 7 more games, and this season is over, man. Because I cannot watch this no more. You know, I just cannot watch this no more. It's just atrocious, man.
You see, with Ten Hag, we've touched on his name, we've played with it. We know he's coming to Manchester United. You know, the board like him. Ralph Rangnick likes him. He's a guy with many ideas. He's got a footballing brain, like your Ralph Rangnick. And he obviously has a style of play. Plays good football, plays possession football, plays attacking football. He also knows how to show up a defense as well. He's got a lot of people optimistic. But obviously what we've seen with Ralph Rangnick, what we've seen with him not being able to implement his style, people are a bit pessimistic at the same time. But look, one thing that I noticed with Ten Hag is in those discussions, and what's come out clearly is that he says what some of the finer details in his sort of final signature is him saying that he wants to have 100% involvement in our signings. Now, for me, that just makes me think, like, why should a manager have to say that he wants 100% involvement in our signings? I would have thought that for Manchester United, maybe in other clubs it's different, but I would have thought in Manchester United that all managers are getting consulted and they are getting 100% involvement. But now this is making me feel like it's not a standard. And we saw what happened with Ollie and Donny van der Beek. It's just making me feel like, is this part of the problem that we've been going through in previous years as to why we've got such a mishmash of players and different styles? What's your thoughts?
I feel like when he said involvement, I don't think it was necessarily like incoming transfer, because the club is always going to consult the manager in terms of like transfer anyways. Like, if you go a manager, you're not going to bring in a player that they're not going to like, you know, unless you probably like have lined it up already. You get what I'm trying to say? So I just don't think when he said involvement, I feel like what he cared more about is like getting players out. If I don't like them, or if they don't listen to me, or if they don't go with my ideas, you know. So I want to be able to just be part of that involvement, where if there's a player that I'm not playing and you're going to offer a contract here, I want to be consulted to say, look, this guy don't fit into my contract, so don't go renew his contract just so that he can be there and I can't move him out and bring someone inside. Because I feel like that has been one of United's biggest problems, you know. Players coming in, I feel like most managers always kind of like get consulted about that. It might not be your first choice or your second choice, but I feel like the players that come in, the managers most of the time will have the final say in regards to that. But I feel like the bit about getting them out, you know, for example, if he come right now and he don't want to use a guy like, say, Rashford is due a new contract. Do the club then go behind his back and say, look, Rashford is a big asset for us, so we're still gonna renew his contract anyway, and we're gonna force him on you to, like, say, find a way to make it work, you know? or even a bit like even the Ronaldo transfer that happened at the end, which I won't say Ole didn't have nothing to say to it. It was kind of like an opportunity that they developed, you know, and they said, look, maybe commercially he would make sense and everything like that, but I don't think Ole would have said no to that because he was a proven goal scorer. But I feel like it's just little things like that to say, don't go behind my back. For example, if an agent come to you as a club to say, look, my player is available and I want to sign him, I don't care whether he's a world-class talent or not, speak to me first. Let me find out where he's going to fit into my squad before we go ahead and sign him, you know. But don't come and tell me like, oh, we've got an agreement in place and we feel like this player is going to be good for you. That I feel like that's what they need to do. But I don't think that's going to be like a bigger issue. The incoming is more the outgoing that I feel like is going to be a problem because in previous seasons we have not been good. So I feel like that's something that as a club we need to literally work on.
Do you know what, right? I can hear that and I feel like with Ten Hag, for me, now it's close and he's basically a Manchester United manager, I would say, unless something terribly goes wrong. I'm going to be fully behind him. I've got my worries and I've got my concerns, but believe me, I'm going to back this guy. And I'm going to back this guy so much, that, bro, even if he's hovering in relegation like Everton is today, I'm still going to back him. Look, even if he gets relegated, bro, I'm still going to back him, Because for me,
I'm
bro,
not doing that.
NK, I swear to you, I swear down, I'm tired, because I know that one of the issues is we don't back these managers enough, We keep changing them every 2 seconds, And I know it's not Ralph Ragnick's issue. It's not Ralph Ragnick's problem. Why he's not totally to blame as to why we're performing like this week in, week out. Do you understand? It's not his fault. It's a accumulation of poor decisions that's happened over the years. It's an issue with like mixed skill sets, mixed styles of play, all in the same team. It's a mishmash. It's an issue with the board, and I just want us to be in a sense where we need some stability, right? We need an identity. I don't want us in 2 years' time to say, "Oh, Ten Hag's out the door, then we're going for Pochettino." I'm tired, bro.
But see, this is where I think I'm a bit different from you in a sense. Like, look, you know me offline, but man, I've been shouting Tim Hag since Ole got sacked, but I told you the deal was done even in December. I've been going out by that the deal was done. So you know I'm a big fan of him, but I don't wanna make this a Tim Hag rebuild, you know, where I'm just backing him to the depth. I want it to be a Manchester United rebuild, to say going forward as a club we're gonna be a possession-based team, you know, so that the players that we're going to start bringing inside are going to be players that are going to play the same type of football together. So let's just say Tim Hag comes inside, we get all the right kind of like profile players, young, that can play like a certain style of football, like a possession play football, and he does not get to where we need him to go, we can sack him and bring someone like, say, Luis Enrique to come in. And if he come inside, because he also kind of like the same kind of like players, he can then go on and continue that job. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't want it to be like, oh, this is a Tim Hag rebuild and I'll back him for like 5 years, even if he's doing wrong. No, I just want it to be a Manchester United rebuild where we say, okay, going forward, this is going to be our identity now. This is going to be the new United DNA. We're going to play a possession-based football, and every player that we're going to bring in now, from goalkeeper, when we buy the goalkeeper should be able to play with his feet. The defenders should be able to be ball-playing centre backs that can do that, so that when a new manager comes in, you're not changing everything, or you're not looking at, oh, this guy cannot play this, this cannot play this, because that's what I feel like as a club we do wrong. Because if we back Tim Hag to the fullest, and let's just say whatever happened, let's just say even he can resign. It's not that we can sack him; he can resign. What happened then if he goes? You know, go bring in another manager in his image. You know, because that's what most of the top clubs, that's what they do. You know. They recruit the players and then they find managers to kind of like get the best out of them. You know, they don't go and just say, oh. So that's what I feel like United need to do as a club going forward. Get all the players that play the same style of football or players that can adapt to different systems if that need be, you know. So just get that. Look at City, for example. City have always been buying the same kind of like group of players. So when managers come inside, they don't change everything all of a sudden like that, you know. Yes, they bring in one or two players like that, but a lot of them are already there and they kind of like continue from that. I feel like that's what as a club we need to do going forward.
I think I agree. I think we do need an identity. We need some consistency, and I think whether it's changing the manager, like you said, after 2 years, but bringing in a guy with a similar philosophy, as long as he can work with those current crop of players because it suits his style of play as well, I'll be happy with that. But what I don't want, I guess what I mean about backing this manager is because I'm just scared that we won't do that and bring in a totally different guy like Pochettino because he was the next guy on our list and then he's got a whole different style of play. But another thing I really we need is with Ralph Rangnick going into his consultancy role, and I hope he has a lot of influence in that consultancy role, not just some any name, and actually has an impact along with Ralph Rangnick, Ten Hag. They agree on similar style players. And they bring them into the club and not this whole like I just want to bring a star boy in. And I think Ralph Rangnick role and having him alongside Ten Hag would be very key, right? And I was reading one interview, right? I think it was Mark Odgon or one of these journalists here was saying how like I sent it to the group, so I read it out again because I have it on my thing here. He was saying, Ralph Rangnick was basically saying that this guy, and he's referring to Nkunku, right? It's like this guy was one of the best players in Germany right now, going to play for France soon. He's scoring goals from midfield. He's a player everyone should know about. He wasn't someone Man United were actively looking at. And then he goes on to say, when Ralph Rangnick came to Man United, he asked the recruitment team as to what sort of reports they had on Christopher Nkunku of RB Leipzig. And then he basically gave the response to him. The response was basically saying he was not on our list. And when I read that, I was just like, you know what? This is something that Ralph Rangnick is going to be in there, along with Ten Hag, who's really good at nurturing these non-superstar players and get us in. And it don't necessarily need to be an Nkunku, but it needs to be someone where we're getting talent before they become these so-called names. And Man United has been poor of it recently. And we're looking at guys like, you see, when I just get shivers when I hear guys like Declan Rice and Moyes has said, you know what, 100 million was a discount. It's 150 million. And Kane, who's like, 30 or whatever he is now, being linked with us and he's like 100 million and he's always injured. I'm just like, bro, like these guys have an important role because our scouting network has been trash. It's been trash.
I think, one thing that you have to hold responsible, and obviously this is like from talking to people and stuff like that too. And one key thing is like one of the reasons why United don't have some of these players scouted was because of Woodward. Because Woodward wanted to kind of like get these players, as you said, these players that before they become stars. So because of that, they've just been so focused on just like finding this like little players that they've just neglected, kind of like scouting players from like your top clubs, like your Bayern, your Real Madrid, your Barcelona and stuff like that. They don't watch those kind of like players. They only do that if an agent come there and just they just don't do that. So I feel like that's the thing about Woodward going is a big plus. But I know you keep on saying that rough. I feel like you're missing like a big key name, bruv, man. And that's John Meta, bruv, man. Meta is one of the guys that is just like what do you call it? Bringing all those people to kind of like together and everything just like that. So he's the one that is bringing all these footballing people together. So you're seeing how now Ralph comes in now. Tim Hag is coming here now. They're also looking for another kind of like deputy to kind of like come in now too. And the work to that he done with the youth team too, bringing like players. Because if you watch, I think he brought 2 players that he took from Real Madrid too. And one of the leg back too, Fernandes too.
They're doing well.
That so that's what he started to kind of like do, go to like these top clubs here and be kind of like taking some of the youth players to, and as I said to you, going forward to in terms of recruitment too. That's what you're gonna start seeing too, like kind of like coming in too. So he's a guy that's kind of like bringing all those kind of like big kind of like guys together, the strong-minded kind of like guys too together to make all this kind of like work. So we need to kind of like look forward to that. But in terms of like Tim Hag coming, bro, I'm excited because when I watch his team play, you can tell that this is a manager that's very smart. The way his team play, the way he's set up to, the way. One of the things I like about him too is that he knows players' strength and weakness. So when he's setting his stuff up, he's not going to play a player in a position where their weakness is going to be a risk to the team. For example, how Bruno is always like misplacing passes and people are just doing that. When he come out, whatever system or formation he plays, I tell you what, if Bruno is in that team, like that, he's losing the ball is not going to be a problem because he will find a way to kind of like cover that too. So that's one thing I'm excited about too. Next season, everything like the certain players that we see now, that we feel like they are finished or whatever quota is, don't be surprised if Rashford end up turning into what we call a world-class players, because that's what some of the best managers do. They find system to get the best out of players. Certain players will look like they are a 100 million player just because the system make them look good, and I feel like that's what he's going to be doing too. But it's not a miracle worker. A lot of things are going to have to change, but this season has just been a disastrous season that the earlier it finished, the better it is for us to just look forward to all the transfer rumors and whatever will come next week.
Bro, it's funny how we spend our time talking more about Ten Hag and stuff than talking about the actual game, because there is nothing for Manchester. There's nothing we can talk about.
There's nothing to talk about. The worst thing too is that we had a week to prepare for this game. You know, Everton played in midweek.
Yeah.
You know, Everton played in midweek. We had a week to prepare for that. So my guess is, what was the game plan? You know, did you study them? Did you come up with their weakness or so? Because it just wasn't, Bob. It just wasn't like, it was just poor, man. It just poor. It just make you just sit there and you watch other teams and then you just become so envious of them because they're just doing simple stuff that your team is not even doing, and then you just feel like, oh wow, like tomorrow, look, Liverpool Man City game, we're gonna watch it. Some of us is just gonna be happy because maybe depending on what about team you're gonna be rooting for, but you're gonna be seeing a quality of football that just gonna just make you feel some type of way to just ask a question like, is my team ever gonna play that kind of football? So I'm hoping with the next manager, maybe we might be able to play that kind of football. I see
with United that, and I've always maintained this, that it doesn't matter how poor the opposition is. If Manchester United haven't come out, haven't left that dressing room, head's not in it, performing as badly as we've been performing, I can't be optimistic that we're going to get anything from a game. And today was just another, look, we got Norwich coming up next. I can't even be optimistic. Like some people might say Norwich is bottom of the league and this and that, but Man United, they always use Man United. We're always at the expense of these teams. They always deliver. Look, it doesn't matter who they are, how bad they've been. Look, we can play Watford, Norwich, and we'll drop points against one of them, if not both of them. And I'm not even confident about Norwich, right? And after Norwich, we've got Liverpool, and then we've got Arsenal. And, you know, it's just going to be pain upon pain.
The thing is, at the beginning of the season, I don't know if we said in the group or maybe one of those like pundits from Sky Sports or anything like that. It's just like anytime Manchester United come up with a well-coached team, yeah, well, we're always going to suffer. I don't know, but we can probably go for this Premiership. I don't know what kind of activity we've done a double over, you know, like where we have beaten them home and away. You will not find a lot of that team after that. What do you call it? 18, 19 teams. I would be surprised if Man United have done a double over more than 5 teams this season.
I'll need to do research for that myself. I can't even think right now. I can't even think about the last time we've got
West Ham was one of them. We done a double over West Ham. I recall, but both games too, we were very kind of like lucky to do a double over West Ham. That's one of the names
very lucky. When Noble missed that pen.
Yeah. So when you can tell both games should have been a draw. We just managed to kind of like get a win out of that. Apart from that, on top of my head, I don't know a team that we done a double over, you know, from home and away. I just don't, and that tells you where this team are in terms of like coaching and everything, just like that. You know, if you are a well-coached team, you should be able to be like tactically the way you play should be able to get the best out of certain teams. But when you are not, there's always going to be inconsistency like that, man. But it is what it is, bro, man.
Bro, it is what it is. Look, we've come to an end now. I'm not going to do any player ratings or man of the match or anything like that. I'm just going to be like, you know what? Norwich is coming up next week. And I'm not going to say the cliches like we go again. I'm not going to say the cliches or none of that. I'm just like, you know what? Let's just get us to the end of the season. That's all I want to do. Game by game, let's get us to the end of the season. Painfully crawl across the line. And then let's again, I don't even want to say another cliche. I just want to end the season and just call it that. You know what I mean?
I wish this was FIFA, bro, man. Just skip the whole season, bro. Just skip the whole season, bro. Or FM, season. Just go on holiday. Just the whole thing, just skip, bro, man.
I'm playing FM now. That's my joy right about now. Playing FM.
Wow, we just literally just skip it, bro, man, because it's atrocious. Like yesterday, we were all happy, like, oh, we got a new manager, I mean, I forgot we were playing the game today. Today came there, you just see that atrocious kind of like performance there's like that. And next week, they're going to do the same thing too. Yeah. If we beat Norwich, it's going to be by luck. But you don't need to watch United games to know exactly what happened, man.
Bro, I'm more excited watching our rivals, Liverpool and City, tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's why.
Who's your money on tomorrow?
Bro, I can't even look past I can't look past Liverpool, you know. I can't look past them.
No,
But it's gonna be a tough game.
I don't want Liverpool to win it. I want City to
Neither
win
do I.
that league, bro.
Yeah.
I want City to win that league.
I
So
don't want none of them, but they're the lesser evil, I guess. Because
less the evils, but man, you got Tottenham out here too doing big in Champions League and everything. I hear 1 or 2 Tottenham fans saying that next season they're going to challenge for the league too. So
look, if Conte stays, yeah, let's see it, because Conte went and won Serie A, yeah, with Inter Milan. Inter didn't give him what he wanted on whatever they said, and then this guy packed his bags. He left the title with inside.
Well, and as a rival fan, you just praying that Tottenham just mess him up, probably. Just literally praying to Tottenham messing up, because
it's gonna be
if
more
that
pressure.
guy stay, that's another challenge we don't need, bro. We got Pep, we got Klopp. Last thing we need is another Conte over here too, to add to our misery, man. So
you need to remember as well, they got a bigger stadium, and they're getting Champions League. It's gonna give them a big boost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big
and
boost,
we don't want them turning into that club. But I just feel like Levy and Conte, they've already, clashed heads. I feel like it's going to come again, whether it be from a Kane sell, whether it be that Conte now wants to go and push further now and win trophies, because he is going to want trophies. Is Levy going to back him and support him in order to get what he wants? Conte wants what he wants, whether it's a guy that's worth 20 million or whether it's a guy that's worth 60 million. He wants what he wants. And if he doesn't get it, then it's going to be an issue.
Well, as I say, if we're praying, let's just pray that stuff just go bad for them, because next season, as I say, with a new manager, it's going to be tough getting used to all this thing. And it's a short transfer window too, because the season starts in August, very early too. So hopefully this club kind of like move early, sort out our transfers. And then even if we do that, as I said to you, the minimum for me next season is that we get back into the top four, a new manager or not, I expect us to do that. And it will be easier if guys like Conte are not there, or Chelsea are still starting with whoever they are new owners are going to be. So right now we just have to just pray that luck goes on our side, because future just look hopeful, but at the same time too, when you go owners like that, what do you call it, PTSD just kind of a kick him off, man. We are just so insecure right now as a fan base, so it is what it is.
Well, guys, remember to smash a like on this video, share it, leave a comment if you agree or disagree or have any opinions. Remember to follow. Look, guys, we'll be back again against Norwich. Until then, peace.